What's up everyone, it's Ty Smith. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to develop color film. I'm going to do a quick overview for everything that you need, and then you can just follow me along within the process. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to follow me on Instagram at tysmith.tv to keep up with more of my work. And for those of you watching on Instagram, please make sure to go subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you, and let's get to it. Alright, so some of the first things you're going to need is you're going to need some C41 processing chemicals. You can get these from Cinestill. It's about $25 for a pack. It comes with all of these chemicals here. I'll be showing you later on how to mix these and use it for your developing process. Next, you're going to need gloves. Any type of gloves work. Just something to protect your hands because you're going to be working with dangerous chemicals. And then a measuring cup to properly weigh out the amount of chemicals that you need for developing stuff like that. Next, you're going to need some amber glass containers. You could use this will be used to store your chemicals and to mix them as well. You could use glass. Some people use plastic, but I'd recommend just sticking to glass. Next after that is a film squeegee. You're gonna need a Patterson developing tank. This one develops 2 rolls of 35mm film or 1 roll of 120mm film. They don't cost that much either. There's different variations of these tanks as well. Like you could get tanks like this that could develop about like 5 rolls of film at a time, or even 10 rolls of film at a time. It all depends on what you want, but I just got the basic one. So this one develops 2 rolls of 35mm film or just 1 roll of 120mm film. Next after that, you're gonna need a funnel to properly put the chemicals into the amber glasses, and this is called an immersion circulator. This is really used for food, but we're gonna be using it for temperature control. Temperature control is very important when developing film. Without it, your stuff will come out messed up. So make sure to get an immersion circulator. These are only about like $40. Next, some scissors. You can just easily have those around the house. This is a can opener, but or a bottle opener. You could easily, there's film openers as well, but I just had this around the house, so it's easier to just use that instead. A clip, you could use this. This will be used for hanging the film when we're gonna dry it at the end. And then the last thing that you would need is a tank or a container, just like this. It doesn't have to be that big. I don't know the exact size of this one, but I'll put those inside the description as well. Now that you got the overview, let's head to the bathroom and start the actual process this way. Now we're in the bathroom and we're about to get started with everything. So first thing that you're gonna need to do is fill up your tub with water. It doesn't matter what type of water. Usually people use distilled water, but we don't have distilled water or filtered water right now, so we're just gonna use water straight from out of the tub. To like at least like halfway, or just enough for the immersion circulator to have enough. You'll see the minimum on whatever immersion circulator you get, but mine is about like halfway, and I'll show you more as I get this ready. Next, we bring this back over here. It's up here. And we attach our immersion circulator to the side. It starts just like that. This is most important because temperature control, like I said earlier, is the most important part of developing film, because if you don't get it right, it's going to end up messing up your film, and I've lost too many rolls of film to bad temperature control. So now what we're going to do is, for the people that, with Cinestill, they have a very basic, not basic, but easy formula to follow for mixing the chemicals. All of that, which is right here. I've already mixed my chemicals into my containers at the proper temperatures and everything. That's why this is important. But as you follow along with the Cinestill, all you gotta do is mix certain, I'll just go over it. I'm not gonna do it again, obviously, because I've used my chemicals already. But first, we'll start off with the developer just to give you a simple overview of what it is that you have to do. These are 1 pint jars. So here for 1 pint, you need 10 ounces of water. I'll put 10 ounces of water inside of it with 4 ounces of developer A, and then
1 ounce of developer B, and then 1 ounce of developer C. I did that, and it's kind of the same. You just repeat the same process to over here, and then for the stabilizer as well, for the Blix and the stabilizer as well. One thing to keep note of is that you want to make sure that the water and the temperature that you're at is, see for here it says water temperature needs to be at 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So as you're pouring these chemicals into the containers, they need to be immersed inside of the water, and this needs to be set to 120 degrees so that when the chemicals are being mixed inside, they're being properly circulated so that they're able to develop properly for your film and stuff. Yeah, so now that is, after you get that done, you'll have this, and then the next step would be to put your developer and your Blix into the tank. The stabilizer needs to stay at, which is this right here. Stabilizer needs to stay at room temperature. So you just keep that to the side, but these two need to be at a certain degrees. For the developer and Blix, they need to be at around 103 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll come over here. If you come over here real quick, I'm gonna turn on this on, which is a Fahrenheit. And then we're going to bring the set temperature down to 103. Or 102. Actually, not 103. I'm going to do this. Set it one more time. The water will start to heat up. Now, as we wait for the water to heat up, in this time, because right now it's at 75 degrees Fahrenheit, is what the temperature of the water is. So when it gets to 103, that's when we can start using our chemicals to make the stuff that we got to do. But for now, I'm gonna show you guys how to load the film into the developing tank.
Okay, so I'm back with the film. Like I said, this right here is a dummy roll, so I'm about to open it up in daylight. If this was your actual roll that you got pictures on, if you did that, it would completely expose the film and then your film would be ruined, so make sure not to do that. Either do it in complete darkness, or have a red safe light, or you could do it inside of a changing bag. Those are the 3 ways that you could do it. I usually do it in complete darkness, but this is, like I said, this is just a dummy roll, and this is just for explanation purposes or for demonstration purposes. So I'm gonna show you guys how to open it, and then how to load it into here. And again, do not open your film inside of light. It will expose all of your images and you will lose everything that you shot. So yeah, let's open this. Also, I open it from the bottom just because it makes it easier. Yeah, so basically you just pry it off from the top, open it like that, pull the film out. Reason why we had the scissors is because we want to cut stuff like this off, just to make it easier for us when we're loading it into the tank, especially if you're doing it in complete darkness. This is so much harder doing in complete darkness, but I've mastered the skill at this point. But that is beyond the point. Here is the next point. So next, after you have this, you take this out of this is what's inside of the Patterson film tank. Take this out, grab this here, put it into there, and then basically you start to, it should catch onto it, and then it starts to roll it. Snap it right off, and then it stays right there. Next, after you have it loaded into this, drop it into here. Put or not that part, get this. Once you put this part on and you twist it shut,
and there's no pull, that means it's light safe, so you can turn back the lights on after this point, and your film will be safe and won't get exposed at this point. So once it's in this stage, that means you're good and you're set, and you don't have to worry about your film getting exposed. So now you're safe, and then you can start putting your chemicals in here, which we'll be getting into next. So yeah, let's do that. What's up? We are back, and within that time of waiting for this to get to the proper temperature, this is now at 103 degrees, and the water is at 103 degrees now. There was one other thing that I forgot to mention to you guys that you guys are gonna need, and that's a stopwatch. You could just use one on your phone as well, so it's not necessary to have an external one. But yeah, but also within that time, I loaded the actual film that I have actual photos on into the tank. And I got rid of the dummy roll, but now that's in here, so you guys can see the full process from beginning to end on what it's going to look like when I put it out onto the drying rack. So we'll start the process of developing and processing the film. So just real quick, just to go over the developing times for each chemical. For developer, you're going to put it inside for 3.5 minutes, and you're going to agitate or rotate every 4 seconds. Basic agitation is just moving the tank like this, up and down, to have the chemicals go around and get inside of the film. There's also an agitation stick, but I don't like using the agitation stick just because it rotates it, but it doesn't. In some cases, it didn't get all the way around the film, so it's best to just do a full-on like this, which you'll see me do. So yeah, for developer, it is 3.5 minutes at 102 degrees, and you agitate for the first 10 seconds, and then every 30 seconds you agitate it 4 times. And then the same thing for the Blix. It's 8 minutes and it's 102 degrees. And then agitation is the same. And then for the stabilizer, then you do a wash, and then you agitate that for the first or you run water into the tank like seven times, and then for the stabilizer, it's only 1 minute, and you agitate it for the first 15 seconds. Which, if none of that made sense, I'll just show you actual in person here. So let's get started. What you're gonna do first is put the tank into the water. You're gonna get your first chemical, which will be the developer. And actually, I'm gonna keep it out of the water first as we're pouring it inside. Open the developer. Pour it in. Pour all of it in. Close the cap on this. Then the other lid that comes with the Patterson tank is the water secure tank, or the water secure lid. So basically you just put this on here. Make sure it's tight because you don't want the chemicals to leak out as you're agitating it. And then let some air out because the chemicals build up gas on the inside. And one time I had it explode. It exploded on me, so just make sure to let air out so that does not happen to you. And just make sure it's tight. And then after that, keep it inside of the tank for a little bit, and then for the first 10 seconds, we're going to do this. Alright, that's 10 seconds. Now every 30 seconds after this, we will do that 4 times. And for now, we just keep it in. So what I like to do on every 40th second and then every 10th second of the minute is when I'll do it. So when this hits 40, I'm gonna agitate it 4 more times. And then when it hits 10 seconds again on the next minute, that's when I'm gonna agitate it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. and then I wait till it gets to the 10 seconds. And remember, we're gonna do this for 3 minutes. One, two, three, four. And while you're developing, or while you're agitating and doing that, in the meantime, just prepare this so that you could quickly dump your chemicals back into their containers. Now that we've agitated it for the amount of time, take this out and we pour it back into its container. Next, after that, we're going to take the Blix and pour it into here now. And for the Blix, it's going to be 8 minutes of the same thing. So every 30 seconds, you do 4 agitations or rotations. And yeah, and then you just do this for another 8 minutes. And be careful with the Blix because it stains really badly, so make sure not to get it on your countertops or in your bathtub or anything like that because it will leave stains. And now the last step, which is the wash, or not the last step, we have the wash and then the stabilizer. So for the wash, basically all you have to do is empty the tank out 7 times. Now the last step, stabilizer, which has to be at room temperature, so it needs to be set aside. Take it. And the stabilizer only needs to be in for 1 minute, but you agitate it for the first 15 seconds. And then we just let it sit for the next 35 seconds. Now that goes back into there, and this is the final moment of truth to see if our film came out here. It's safe to take the top off now, so you can twist it off. This is to the side.
frames are there. So we successfully developed some film. The last and final step is we let it dry now, and we take the squeegee to get off all of the extra water residue. And that's it. Now you know how to develop film. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm kidding. But again, thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Peace.